Hello, I'm here to discuss the book Death by Prescription by Terence Young. It's the story of a family residing in Ontario with a teenage daughter who's taking a very common medication called Propulsid for her digestive issues, which unfortunately ends up taking her life. What I appreciated the most about this book is the point of view it's written from. Terence adding a refreshing outlook on what these companies are getting away with, such as the markup on prices of drugs and their ability to charge essentially whatever they'd like, also whatever the customers will pay. This is especially heartbreaking for people with highly drug dependent illnesses, as well as big pharma drug reps being trained to spin doctor the drawbacks of their drugs, where they spin information of negativity into something positive, such as this drowsy medication. They're saying, it's helpful for sleep. Not to mention how minimal the effort is with the Dear Doctor letters they're giving doctors for new information about the risks of their drugs, knowing very well that they don't always have the time to read them, putting in just enough effort that they can be held accountable. The statistics of how many people die each year from pharmaceuticals, but that the numbers are incorrect based on the location of death. For example, if it's not in a hospital, it's not included. There seems to be so many well thought out loopholes for Big Pharma to be able to avoid any responsibility, such as situations where Big Pharma can say things like this quote from the book, where as long as the patient is making an informed decision, then we feel the manufacturer has taken adequate action. There are doctors who are receiving kickbacks from reps in the form of free samples, dinners out, vacations, etc., which can heavily influence the decisions based on which medication they might prescribe, despite the side effects, whether they're known or unknown. These drug reps get them fresh by walking around med schools and buying young students things, putting their names and their faces out there, influencing future doctors. Another great quote from the book is yet somehow doctors who have power over life and death are allowed to secretly accept hundreds of thousands of dollars on the side while putting their patients at risk. I would be very interested in the statistics of how many employees of Big Pharma are using what, if any, medications that they promote, and what level of education and warning they have had on them. What I'd love to take from this book is to help clients with making sure they read the warnings in huge detail, pay close attention to their symptoms, and make sure they have an open conversation about it with their doctors. What a great time to be educated in alternative medicine.